What's good, y'all? It's Manda, and I'm back with another video for you guys. Yesterday, the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropped and sent the Marvel fandom into a frenzy. It hasn't even been 10 hours yet, and as of this recording, it has 20 million views on Sony's YouTube channel. While we're all excited for the returning villains and cool moments that'll be in this movie, it's important to remember that Tom's Peter will suffer in this film. Tom himself said that it's going to be a dark and brutal story. Other members of the project have said that Peter's going to go through it. With all this pessimistic talk, it's no wonder that rumors have been flying about some characters in the movie dying. While a few of them here or there are basically invulnerable because they have to be in future projects, there are quite a few that are much less protected from the touch of Lady Death. Here is every character's chance of dying in Spider-Man No Way Home. We'll start with the main character, Tom Holland's Peter Parker. This doesn't even need to be explained. His chances of dying are obviously 0%. It's his movie and they're definitely not going to kill off MCU Spider-Man while he's in high school. There's also the fact that Tom Holland recently said he would come back in a heartbeat if Marvel decided to renew his contract, so obviously the guy isn't dead. Fans of MCU Peter have nothing to be worried about. Next is another one of the main characters, Doctor Strange. Yet again, we have a hero that clearly has a 0% chance of dying. I mean, his second movie literally comes out next year. Strange fans obviously have no need to be sweating. Now that we have the no-brainers out of the way, let's turn to a character whose fans actually have a reason to be concerned. MJ was already a candidate for a death before the trailer came out, but after that, I'd put her chance of death at 40%, and it's not just because of her Gwen Stacy moment. When rumors started swirling about a character dying, the first person I thought of was MJ. She's the person Peter had grown closest to over the course of his two movies. Of course, in the trailer we see her falling the same way Gwen did, but I'm fairly sure she's going to survive that, possibly with a certain other Spider-Man saving her. It would be weird for them to kill two love interests in the same way. What really caught my eye was the amount of emphasis they were putting on how much MJ meant to Peter. The trailer opens up with him talking about how his life only felt normal when he was with her. We see them kissing, and overall the trailer has put quite a bit of focus on the couple. This could be just to build up to her fall, but it could also be to build up to her death in another situation and the effect it would have on Peter. I personally don't want to see MJ get folded just yet. I'm not ready to see Zendaya leave the MCU. Plus, I actually like her and Peter together. Happy has been a consistent presence in the MCU Spider-Man movies and has gotten fairly close to Peter over the years. He has a 50% chance of dying just because I feel like he's by far the best person to kill off. He's close enough to Peter that if he died it would have a major effect on him, but he also isn't major when it comes to impact on the MCU, and his death doesn't exactly obstruct other storylines or erase opportunities to do storylines. There hasn't been any hints specifically about Happy dying in this movie, but I definitely could see him saying goodbye to the MCU here. Aunt May gets a 30% chance. She's the one closest to Peter, meaning she has the biggest target on her back. Tobey's Aunt May knows this quite well. It's also important to note that when Peter's identity was revealed during Civil War in the comics, Aunt May was shot and almost died. I wouldn't be very surprised if the MCU takes that route. The only reason May has a lower percentage than Happy is because she's super important to the character of Spider-Man. Killing her off is extremely bold, and unlike with Happy, it could affect the way they have to do future Spider-Man stories. With the villains, things become a little more complicated. It's hard to say what chance they have because I have no clue at all what the plan is for them in the MCU. Will Marvel keep them around and use them in future stories for MCU Spider-Man, or is this just a one-time thing? It doesn't help that the ultimate goal and motive for some of them are a bit blurry and unclear, especially with Doc Ock. He seems to be helping Peter in the trailer, so is he willing to go back to his universe and die, or is there something else he wants? And what about Green Goblin? We know for sure he dies in his universe, so is this all taking place right before that moment? If so, then his death is guaranteed from the start. However, it could be that the spell changed all of that and now he never dies in that universe. I guess for the others, it's more cut and dry. Avoid going back to my universe and dying. Simple. I think I'll give all the villains in this movie 50%. It's really hard to make a proper prediction with all the different factors and things we don't know. What it comes down to is whether they end up back in their universes at the end of the movie, and as of right now, that's a 50-50. Now, I know none of them are confirmed at the moment, but come on, we all know Tobey, Andrew, and Charlie Cox are in the movie. We have more than enough proof and confirmation, and the editing mistakes in the trailer yesterday just confirm it even more, so why not throw them in here too? I'll start with Daredevil since he's an obvious 0%. There's really no need for me to explain this one. He's showing up in multiple future MCU projects, and his show is most likely getting rebooted soon. It won't be long before he's running the MCU. Now, Tobey Maguire is an interesting one. Quite a few people think he'll die just because he's the oldest Spider-Man here, but that doesn't really have to be the case. It's definitely more likely that he'll return to his own universe at the end of the movie. Maybe he'll even retire. Same goes for Andrew, just without the retiring part. Of course, I'm not completely ruling out a death, but I think people saying that he will definitely die are vastly mistaken. Happy endings are still very common, and I don't see a real reason they would have for killing Andrew and Toby. I'd say 20% for Toby and 5% for Andrew. Andrew has a lower percentage just because there's been rumors about his trilogy being completed after No Way Home, and Morbius has references to his universe, so something has to be going on there. Out of all the No Way Home characters, who do you think is most likely to die? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear other opinions. Imagine if no one dies and we were doing all this speculation for no reason. I'd be pissed. I want to see some murder, Marvel. New videos coming soon. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, see you then.